योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तान् सञ्जीवयत किल शक्तिधरा स्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणात् त्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं कथाञ्चनास्मृते यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्रीचैतन्यनामामृतम्। Hare Krishna, welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we will be discussing text 40 and 41. Last time we discussed 37, 38 and 39. So before we start with the verse number 40, we will have a short quiz. I hope you all read the purport, translation and purport of 37, 38 and 39. Today after we discuss 40 and 41, again I will request you to go home and read the translation and purport of 40 and 41 over the next 1 week. It's not much actually, just 2 pages. 2 pages you can always read into 1 week. And then we'll have a quiz again on those 2 verses. So please don't see the notes. आप notes देखोगे answer देखोगे तो फिर मजा नहीं. Don't look down. आपका notebook बंद रखो आप. Huh? I have no problem. I have no problem. There was it. Yeah. So आप notes मत देखिए. Then इसमें क्या नहीं मालूम है तो नहीं मालूम बोलिए. Then if you are seeing it, then what is the use of adding this? Okay, this is first question based on verse number 37. In what spirit was the battle of Kurukshetra fought? Who knows the answer? Raise your hand. Yes. Friendly and proper. This is the exact word. Sporting. Yes. Friendly and sporting. Yes. Thank you. So good. I'm happy you're not looking at the book. Then I'll feel encouraged. Otherwise, it's not a quiz then. Second question. What was Krishna's promise before the battle and what was Bhishma's promise during the battle? Yes, you.
If it will not be raising it, will not be any
weapon.
You will make sure that Krishna picks up.
Yes, thank you. Third question. What example does Srila Prabhupada give to explain Krishna running towards Bhishma to kill him? Yes, bro.
Yes, lion attacking elephant.
Yes, Hari go. Thank you. You're making me very happy. When you give answer, I become very happy. Text number 30. See, teacher-student ka वही relationship होता है. You know, when you like, if we're having classes for last more than 3 years now, the 94th class today. This we should have started on the very first class. Now I'm feeling encouraged to come to the classes also. Thank you. So our next question. So this entire pastime of Bhishma and Krishna, which is Bhishma is describing, but they're appearing as enemies, both of them, externally. But Srila Prabhupada says that in this exchange, there is something which is astounding. What is that astounding feature of this? Yes, Rashmi.
Krishna's pleasure, the devotee doesn't mind becoming an enemy for the Lord.
Yes, excellent answer. The devotee can please the Lord by becoming an enemy. And the Lord is absolute. So Lord can accept service even when the devotee is in the garb of an enemy. Prabhupada says. Yes. Next question. Why does Krishna never have an enemy? Or why no one can ever defeat him? Yes. He is Ajita. Excellent. Thank you. Ajita means unconquerable. See, the power of bhakti, the 10th canto, we find this verse. Jnane prayasamudapasanamanteeva jivanti samkritam bhavati avartam sthane sita shrutikatam tanumam manubhe e prayaso jita jitopi asita istri lokyan. Bhakti ke prayas se Ajita will become Jita. E prayasho Ajita Jita. So Krishna will become conquered. And what is Krishna's supreme pleasure, and who cannot understand this? What is Krishna's greatest pleasure in life? And who cannot understand that pleasure? All of you cannot understand? You can understand. What is Krishna's supreme pleasure? Okay, forget who cannot understand this. But what is Krishna's supreme pleasure? Yes. This is the right answer, but I'm looking at what Prabhupada wrote in that purport. The answer right है सबका. एक बार आप हरे कृष्णा में 6 महीने के लिए आ गए तो आपको सब आंसर आ जाए. But there is something specific Prabhupada wants you to say in this context. Yes.
When we serve the devotees.
Right, but not right. Correct answer. But in this context, yes. You are close. What is Krishna's highest pleasure? So, एक answer तो आप लोग हार गए. एक तो कुछ आप नहीं कर पाए. When Prabhupada says Krishna's greatest pleasure is when his pure devotees defeat him or rebuke him from a superior position. When a devotee who is supposed to be lower than Krishna becomes superior. That is. Okay, there are two proofs Srila Prabhupada gives. The next question, if you know the answer, raise your hand. What is the proof that Bhishma Dev is not an enemy of Krishna? What are the two proofs that Prabhupada gives? Yes, last one. Sorry? Yeah, the first proof is, if he was an enemy of Krishna, why is he desiring to have Krishna as the ultimate destination of his life? That is a proof that he is not an enemy. And what is the second very interesting proof that they are not enemies? Bhishma is not an enemy of Krishna. What is the proof Prabhupada gives? Nobody else other than both of you? Okay, we'll go for you. Yes.
This devotee gives up his own vow of not picking up the weapon and gets off the chariot.
You are close, but that's the answer. That's not exactly the answer. You are right. But what is the point that Prabhupada is making? Which proves that Bhishma is not an enemy of Krishna. Yes.
Krishna did not. He could have annihilated Bhishma if he was
actually. He could have sat in the chariot and moved his Sudarshan Chakra. Why is he running towards Bhishma? Very good. Okay. What analogy does Srila Prabhupada give to explain Krishna running towards Bhishma Dev? Yes. Lover running to the enemy, to the beloved. Lover running to the beloved. Thank you. Okay. So now really tough questions. Last 2, 3. How can a pure devotee see Krishna within himself? How is it possible? How can a pure devotee see Krishna within himself? How is it possible for a pure devotee to see Krishna within himself? This last minute. Yes, because he's never forgetting the Lord even for a moment. Therefore, he can see the Lord always within himself. Thank you. Very tough question, I'm happy you answered. So there is this yogis also go through samadhi, and devotees also do bhakti and enter samadhi. So how is the samadhi of devotee different from the samadhi of mystic yogi? Wait. Yes, you want to try?
They control their senses.
Yeah, who? Yes. Yes, they remember the Lord's what? Features, holy name, pastimes. Yes. So the main difference is what? The concentration of the mystic yogi is it devotional or mechanical? Mechanical. And devotee's remembrance of Krishna is there is spontaneous love and affection. Yes. This is a very easy question. Let's see who can answer this. Why is Bhishma Dev considered more fortunate than even Arjuna? Wait. We'll take your yes, last minute.
Arjuna was behind Krishna. He could see Krishna too.
Yeah, he could see Krishna's fighting spirit also. Yes. Parthasarathi feature he could see. Arjuna could not see Parthasarathi feature. So Prabhupada says, as far as military feature of Krishna is considered, Bhishma Dev could relish it more than Arjuna. And last question for today. How can we say that Krishna was merciful, not just to Pandavas, but also to Kauravas? Very easy question. Now we'll take a Sanan's.
Someone was there in the battle, everybody got
Yeah, they got to see Krishna, so they got attained their original spiritual form. They were able to see Krishna in the battlefield. Yes, thank you. Thank you for taking part in this quiz. Today I came 5 minutes early for the class. So now I am happy. We start with the 40th verse today. It's a very 40th verse is a very interesting verse. Bhishma is remembered fighting feature of Krishna. Bhishma is remembered Arjuna, Pandava. But now let's see who very special people he remembers now. Text 40. Lalita Gati Vilasa Valguhasa Pranaya Nirikshana Kalpito Rumana Lalita Gati Vilasa Valguhasa Shana Kalpito Rumana Kritamanu Kritavatya Unmadanda Prakriti Magan Kilayasya Gopavadva Kritavatya Unmadanda. Who will read the translation today? Anybody? Yes, Mataji. Loudly.
Let my mind,
Mic is coming towards you.
let my mind fix upon Lord, Shri Krishna, his mentions and smiles of love attracted the dancers of Vraja Bihari.
So whom is Krishna remembering now? He is remembering the Gopis of Vrindavan. Kahan se kahan dekho, battlefield. That's why Gaurala Kupran, when he gives class on these Bhishma's prayers, he gives the title of the class as Ras Lila on Battlefield. That is his title of the class. Now you can read the purport, Mataji, please.
By intense ecstasy in loving service, the damsels of Rajbhumi attained qualitative oneness with the Lord by dancing with him on an equal level, embracing him in mutual love, smiling at him in joke, and looking at him with a loving attitude. The relation of Lord with Arjun is undoubtedly praiseworthy for devotees like Bhishma Dev. But the relation of Gopi with the Lord is still more praiseworthy because of their still more purified loving service. By the grace of the Lord, Arjun was fortunate enough to have the fraternal service of the Lord as chariot driver. But the Lord did not award Arjun with equal strength. The Gopis, however, practically became one with the Lord by attaining of equal footing with the Lord. Bhishma's aspiration to remember the Gopis is a prayer to have their mercy also at the last stage of his life. The Lord is satisfied more when his pure devotees are glorified. And therefore, Bhishma Dev has not only glorified the acts of Arjun, his immediate object of attraction, but also remembered the Gopis who were endowed with unrivaled opportunities for rendering loving service to the Lord. The Gopis equally with the Lord should never be misunderstood to be like the Sayujya liberation of the impersonalists. The equality is one of perfect ecstasy where the differential conception is completely eradicated. For the interests of the lover and the beloved becomes identical.
Yes, this is a very beautiful verse where Bhishma is glorified Krishna coming to kill him, fighting, all that. And now he wants to remember Krishna as somebody who attracted Gopis. That means he is basically also seeking the blessings of Gopis and how the Gopis were imitating Krishna after the Rasa Lila. So he's remembering Rasa Lila, which is considered as the highest or the greatest pastime of Krishna. So there are two important points in the purport. Srila Prabhupada is writing 2 points. One is Gopis are how more praiseworthy than all the other devotees because of their more purified devotional service. And the second point Prabhupada writes in the purport is Krishna is satisfied when pure devotees are glorified. And therefore, Bhishma is glorified Arjuna. Now he's glorifying the Gopis. Because he knows Krishna will be more happy when I glorify Krishna's devotees. So before we dive into the explanation on the purport, I just remembered Anuradha Mataji is Yamari. You memorize verses, na? I'm amazed, she messaged me today saying that she memorized Bhishma's prayers. How many verses? 11. All the verses you memorized. So I'll be happy. So you can chant. All of you have access to the verses, right? So we'll see, and you please chant. And yeah, you can chant all the prayers, na? Kitna 5 minutes to lagega. So, but acha, inspiring hai. See, it's very inspiring if somebody has memorized the verses. So how many verses are there actually? 11. You chant all the 11 verses. Give us the microphone. See, तो फिर हम लोग भी देखेंगे. So then you chant what you can. The next week you come with fully prepared. तो मजा आएगा. ठीक है ना? So इसमें कुछ exciting रहेगा ना? तो पढ़ के तो हम लोग तो कर ही रहे हैं हर क्लास में. I wanted some inspiration also because I have not memorized Bhishma's prayers as yet. So you practice confidence. है ना? But I'm very, very happy. Very happy. What's your initiated name? I forget. Aladini Radha. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So I encourage devotees to memorize verses. See, okay, if you're not comfortable with Sanskrit, forget the Sanskrit. I'm teaching you one technique. Read the verse, the translation, then speak the translation to yourself in your own words. That is as good as memorizing. Sanskrit may potency that sound because that is a word spoken by a pure devotee. But the meaning, emotion is more important. Bhavagrahi Janardana. Krishna wants to see the emotion. So there are 3 things in a prayer. One is articulation, be able to narrate the prayers properly, articulation. And then second is emotion. These 2 are the first 2 very important parts of the prayer. So articulation, you can always articulate the prayer in front in Sanskrit, English, Hindi. And usme thoda emotion dal do. Tadka hai wo. That will make it beautiful. And then after these 2, then be silent. Allow what you have offered to the Lord. Allow the Lord to reciprocate. When you have a loving relationship with someone, you speak to that person with emotion. First, you have to speak clearly, then with emotion. Then what you do? Then you keep quiet. You don't keep only talking, saying that in our relationship, I only talk and he only listens. Or she only listens. ऐसा नहीं होता. Relationship में, you should also listen. So prayer में 3 things are there. Articulate or express, or we can put it like this. Express, then emotion, and then silence. So just be easy, relax. Then Krishna will reciprocate. And when you are present, when you are silent, then basically it means be present. Then you'll be able to, people say how to hear Krishna's voice, all that will come. So can we continue then? So there are 2 important points in the purport. We'll take the first point that Prabhupada says, Gopis are more praiseworthy because of their more purified devotion service. Before coming to ISKCON, I was also connected to one of the 4 sampradayas where worship of Krishna is very common in the Madhva Sampradaya, but we never glorified Gopis. We would glorify Pandavas. We would read Mahabharata morning, evening, night, not Bhagavatam. And we considered Pandavas are the best devotees. And amongst Pandavas, Bhima is the best. Not even Arjuna. So, Hari Sarvottama, Vayu Jivottama. You would say Hari is greatest, and amongst living entities, it is Vayu or Bhima or Hanuman. So then when I come to ISKCON, I hear Gopis are the highest. It was very difficult for me because in our Sampradaya where I was growing up, Gopis are considered as ordinary heavenly damsels who are lusty for Krishna. But the Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding was amazing. I learned how Gopis' love for Krishna is super excellent and how we in ISKCON, we aspire to be the servant of the Gopis. Because a relationship with Krishna in the pure spiritual level can be in one of the 5 mellows, 5 rasas. At the lowest level is Shantaras, means there is neutrality, there is no active service happening. Like a bed is also conscious, serving Krishna. But Shantaras se upar hai Dasya, where Krishna, somebody is fanning Krishna, somebody is cooking for Krishna, that Dasya Rasa is there. So Dasya Rasa, so as the rasa progresses, each higher rasa will include the mellow of the lower rasa plus something extra. So higher than Dasya Rasa is Sakya Rasa, where Krishna is loved and served in the mood of a friend. So these Sakyas, Sakas, friends of Krishna, are also in the mood of Dasya. But they are having that extra, where they jump on Krishna, wrestle with Krishna, have jokes with Krishna. And higher than Sakya Rasa is Vatsalya Rasa, where there is paternal affection, parental affection for Krishna, which Mother Yashoda has, and the elderly Gopis in Vrindavan have. And higher than Vatsalya Rasa is Madhurya Rasa, the conjugal love, which the lover has for the beloved. So these Gopis had that mood, that they were willing to give up everything to make Krishna happy in the rasa of a lover. So, and we in ISKCON, we don't aspire to be a lover of Krishna like the Gopis. We aspire to be the servant, not even of the Gopis. Or we want to be the servant of the servant of the servant of those Gopis, because they are the highest devotees of Krishna and there are many servants. So we want to be a servant. So it's not that we are taking this relationship cheaply. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the principle that when you are asked, who are you? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not say, I am sannyasi, I am like that. Or we don't say, we may say externally something, but internally our mood is, I'm not a brahmachari. Naham vipro na chanarapatir, na pi vaishyo na shudro, naham varni na chanarapatir, na vanasto yatirva. Kintu prodhya nikila premananda purnamritabde gopi bhartor padakamalayor dasa dasa dasanda. This is the formula Mahaprabhu gave. Naham vipro, I am not a brahmana. Nacha narapati, napi vaishyo na shudra. I am not a grihastha. I am not a kshatriya. I am not a brahmana. I am not a vaishya. I am not a shudra. Naham varni nacha grihapati na vanasto yatirva. I am not a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha or yati, sannyasi. But I am that who Kintu Prodya Nikila Premananda Purnamritabde, that Krishna is the ocean of love and is complete. He is served by Gopis. Gopi Bhartu means servant. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayo. There are people, there are devotees who are the servants of these Gopis. I want to be Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayo Dasa Dasa Dasanudas. I want to be servant of servant of servant. The key here is Dasanudas, not a servant. See, first of all, in this world, wanting to be a servant is not desirable. I mean, nobody wants to be a master. That's how we grow up. Even if you're a servant, you want to be a servant to the top guy. Like you want to join IAS. IAS people are servants. But or you want to be even if you're a car driver, you'll be like, okay, I want to be driver of the President of India. So we want to be a servant of some top guy. But in bhakti, the whole paradigm is different. We want to go lower. When Srila Prabhupada was with the Japanese company Dai Nippon for publishing his Bhagavad Gita, they were meeting the top executives, the publishing house in Tokyo. So the meeting was going on. So all the managers were there, some vice presidents were there. So during the discussion, Srila Prabhupada said, so after the discussion, they all left. They all had kept their visiting card on the table, the round table, and then they all left. So one of the managers who was escorting Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada thought he would preach to him. Srila Prabhupada said, so what is your name? He mentioned something. Then Prabhupada said, what is your ambition? What do you really want in life? He looked at Prabhupada and he looked at all the other visiting cards that were there on the table. He said, I'll tell you my ambition. He brought all the visiting cards, put one above all the visiting cards. Then he removed his visiting card and he put it on top. He said, this is my ambition. Srila Prabhupada looked at the devotees and said, see how different is our ambition. So, and even if you convince people we want to be servant, they get you to put off. It's very cringy. You know, they want to be servant. In fact, in the world there is a saying, better to be a king. And if you tell them this world, यहाँ पे क्या तुम दादागिरी कर रहा है, हीरोगिरी कर रहा है, This world is suffering. These people, they'll say, yes, that's place of suffering, all that is true, but still I don't want to be served. Because their mood is better to be a king in hell than a servant in heaven. That is the mood of people in this world. The mood is basically, I want to be superior. But the devotee is opposite. He not only wants to be servant, he wants to be servant, not the higher servant, das, anu, das. Further down the line, the further down the line we go, the better we are. Now, I know what you are thinking. Those of you are hearing it for the first time, this concept, at least this question came to my mind when I heard this for the first time, that in ISKCON the mood is not only we are servant of Krishna, not only we are servant of devotees, we are servant of their servant and servant of their servant, going backwards, further down the line. When I heard this concept for the first time, I got this question in my mind. Tell me if you also got this question. And the question that I got was, oh, doesn't this mean I'm going away? There is a distance created between me and the Lord because I'm going further down the line. So we are not going away. We are actually getting mercy of more people each time we become dasa. See, each time we are servant, that means there is somebody between me and Krishna. That means so much more mercy I will get. It is not that these devotees who are above me, they are blocking my relationship with Krishna and I am getting disconnected. No. Each time I am das, that means I am getting mercy of all the other dasas who are above me. That is also there. That is part. Like, for example, if I am 11th das, that means I not only get Krishna's love, but I also get blessings of the 10 devotees who are above me. That is the mood in which we understand the Madhurya Rasa, the relationship of Gopis.
Like how do you deal with like those who are above you and they misuse?
That is a different, there is an applicational aspect. Today we are discussing philosophy, the tattva. Bhishma is appreciating Gopis. We are discussing that. We are talking about practical application. That is another subject matter for another time. But we have to first understand the concept, the principle. Once we understand the principle, then application requires intelligence and discussions, case studies. But first we have to understand who we are. We are essentially servants. And when we are servants of servant, although there are so many servants above us, we get their mercy also. And we are also directly with Krishna because these 10 devotees who are above us, they are transparent. So how do we deal with them? How do we respect them? We see that they are transparent. They are not somebody who is saying, you can't go to Krishna. You serve only me. They are happy to bring you in front of Krishna. They are transparent. That is the mood of those devotees who are above us. That is how we deal with them, knowing that they are not somebody who is keeping me away from Krishna. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, in this material world, if there is somebody between you and the boss or somebody top guy, then you can't get that person's darshan. Like if you say, I want to go and meet the President of India or the Prime Minister, and there are so many blocks or so many people before you. But in spiritual life, the internal mood is the devotee is not a door. See, the devotees are above us, they are not a door that we open and then we go to Krishna. See, door open, a door next door. Then there is another door. Like that, you cross through 10 doors and then you get to see Krishna. Not like that. When we say dasanu, dasanu, das, the devotees above us are not doors which is locked. They are actually more of a window which is open, transparent. You can see. See, materialistic people, their mood is, their paradigm is different than devotees. See, it's like this. When we are not spiritual, then when we get success in life, we see the mirror. See, I am so good. I did it. That's a world. And when we fail, when we go through suffering, we see not the mirror. We see glass. He is responsible. Glass, there are people on the other side of the glass. He is responsible. We are ulta. When we get success, we see the glass. Oh, so many devotees are responsible. They are all helping me in the spiritual. When we suffer, we see the mirror. What I have done. And many times, when we are neophytes, we immediately think, oh, we see the door principle. We think devotees are the door. Because of them, I cannot get Krishna. But advanced devotees, they understand that I depend on blessings. I depend on blessings of Gopis and their servants. So that mercy dependence makes us more attractive to Krishna. So the mood here is dasa, dasa, dasa. Anu means atomic, minute. English word is atom. Lord Brahma says, no, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna is in the atom. So Andantarastha Parama Anu is within the atom also. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I am a servant, but to this servant is a big thing. See, when Srila Prabhupada asked, are you servant? Do you think you are servant of God? Srila Prabhupada was asked one challenging question by one man in the class. Srila Prabhupada immediately said, no, I am servant of my spiritual master. And then he said, to be a servant of God is a very big thing. So we want to be servant of Krishna, but we should not forget that we are not somebody who is very special. In that mood, we are able to attract the blessings of the Gopis, and that is our Gaudiya mood, our philosophy, our sampradaya, our tradition. Our mood is, Lakshmi ji. Lakshmi ji is Lord Vishnu's eternal associate. She is there in the Lord's chest. Lord embraces her. So she is considered as the highest devotee. Now, the other devotees of the Lord, they don't want to be embraced by the Lord, in the sense, they don't want to take Lakshmi's position. We are happy to be servants of Krishna, servant of Krishna. See, Hanumanji, for example. Hanumanji is servant of Krishna, servant of Lord Ram. So they're basically Dasyaras. But if you see, there is some element of Sakya also. Because there is this famous painting where Lord Ram is embracing Hanuman. All of you must have seen. And Hanumanji is happy, but is also feeling embarrassed. He's also feeling shy because he doesn't want to be a friend. He's happy to be a servant. So we as devotees, we don't desire equality with Krishna. That is not our mood. Our mood is, okay, Lakshmi ji has conjugal relation. Very good. She has servants. They are happy to be servants of her servants. But ultimately, there is this prayer that Lakshmi is also aspiring to get the dust of Lord Vishnu's lotus feet. If ultimately that's what she is desiring, we are anyway getting that. By being the dust of the Lord's lotus feet is so nice that even if you are embraced by Lord, like Lakshmi ji, she is also desiring it. So why not we desire that by being servant of servant? Means that dust is so attractive. It is so rich and nectar. The best is the Gopis. Gopis they are also in Madhurya Rasa. There's intimate dealing with Krishna. Krishna embraces them, kisses them. They are so close. They are higher than Lakshmi. They have a full-blown conjugal aspiration of the Gopis. But if you see, there are so many prayers that the Gopis are saying that we want to be made servants of Krishna and get the dust from his lotus feet. So if Gopis are aspiring to get a lowly position, see, I told you earlier, higher rasas will include lower rasas. So don't get surprised. So those who are in Madhurya Ras, they will also display affection, parental affection. But the higher rasas, it's not contradictory. But the point is, all the highest rasa people also, the devotees also want to be servant, want the dust to the lotus feet. That is the point. Mahaprabhu's famous Shikshashtakam prayer, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavambudo Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Pita Dhuli Sadrisham Vichintaya. Mahaprabhu is saying, oh son of Nanda, Krishna, I want to be the dust particle at your lotus feet. Sorry, that is? Yes. See, when we say Krishna servant, when we say I am Krishna, I want to be Krishna's servant, included in that statement is the aspiration to be servant of servant of servant. आप ना black and white सोचते हो, binary thinking रहता है हमारा. 1 0 1 0. Both are right. Whenever we say I want to be Krishna's servant, अरे आपने ऐसा कैसे बोला? You said in the class we should be Krishna's servant or servant or servant. Yes, when I'm saying I want to be Krishna's servant, I am trying to say I don't want to be enjoyer, I want to be servant. When I'm saying I want to be servant or servant or servant, I am expressing the mood of I want blessings of everyone. You have to see the mood. When Mahaprabhu is saying I want to be, but same Mahaprabhu has also said dasanu dasanu das. So when Mahaprabhu is saying I want to be servant of Krishna, he is explaining the mood how he doesn't want to be an enjoyer but always a servant of Krishna. And when he is saying I want to be servant of servant of servant of Krishna, that means he is explaining the mood of how he wants blessings of all the devotees. Is that okay? Basically, I am trying to say that we have something which even the Gopis want, even Lakshmi ji wants. Ultimately, they also want the dust only of Krishna's lotus feet. So that aspiring of the dust, when we say when Mahaprabhu is saying I want dust of Krishna's lotus feet, dust is the lowest position of the feet, which basically means I want to be servant of servant of servant. It's a symbolic way of saying I want to be servant of servant of servant. So instead of saying I want to be servant of servant of servant of Krishna, we say I want the dust particle from the lotus feet of Krishna. It is the same. That is equal to this. Because the feet is generally considered the lowest part, dirty. And we wash off the feet, we wash off the dust. But when it comes to Krishna, that dirt becomes worshipable. See, you have to understand, Krishna and Gopis have a very special relationship. They used to every day glance at each other. Daily, daily pastime, and Krishna would come back from Vrindavan after herding the cows. See, it was not an ordinary glance, like a young boy and a young girl, they look at each other and then they steal the glance, then they again look at each other. So nobody keeps looking at the opposite gender. You may look at someone and then you don't again look at them unless there is something more in that relationship. It is impolite if you keep staring at someone, right? But when there's an attraction, then you glance, then you have a second glance, and then you smile, then there is attraction, there is friendship. And if there is stealing of glances, then there is kuch hota hai. Then there is something more, right? So the Gopis and Krishna also used to have daily these kind of glances. You have to understand, but they had social etiquette also. The Gopis were following etiquette. So there was love, there was affection, and see, their glasses were loaded glances. It was not ordinary. You can make out, right? When somebody is looking at you, you can know whether there is a longing in that or it is an ordinary glance. So there are a lot of conjugal feelings. And then Gopis could sense, oh, Krishna is looking at us, not ordinary glance. Krishna is looking at us in the mood that he wants to have a conjugal relationship. They could sense it. So they said, fine, Krishna, if this is the relationship you want, we are your servants. We are ready to offer everything we have to satisfy you completely in this relationship. So that is why their mood is wanting to please Krishna in that rasa. So therefore, they are considered as the highest. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama sakya pashunanu viveshayator vayasya Bhaktram Rajesha Sutayoranu Venu Jushtam Erva Nipita Manurakta Kataksha Moksham. For the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, the Venu Geet, the Gopis are singing beautiful prayers glorifying Krishna's flute. So they begin with this. Krishna's most attractive feature is his glances. He comes from the pasturing grounds and is glancing at Akshanvatam Phalamidam. So they are saying the perfection of our eyes is to get these glances of Krishna. Sakya Pashunanu Viveshayator Vayas. And then he enters Vrindavan from the forest along with his friends and the animals, the cows and calves. Bhaktram Rajesha Sutayaranuvenu. And yet then he has his flute on his lips and as Krishna is playing the flute, he's glancing at the Gopis. And the Gopis are seeing that. So they know, basically this is a relationship they are having from Krishna. Krishna, if this is what will make you happy, they didn't have any sensual attraction. It was the mood of service. And that is why we in ISKCON, we consider the Gopis as the highest devotee. It's very interesting. Nowhere will you find this kind of position given, other than, of course, in our Vaishnava Sampradaya it is given. Because Gopis are not very educated materially. They were not scholars, they didn't know all the shlokas. They were not like big pandits. Like if you say in this world, what is your qualification? People very proudly say, I'm MBA, IIT, MBBS. है ना? अच्छा लगता है बोलने में. If you say, but what are Gopis' qualifications? They were not educated or socially, they were not very skilled. You know, their expertise was in making cow dung patties. You know? If you hear somebody, oh, she's an expert in making cow dung patties. Are you impressed? How Krishna's best devotees are, unka qualification. Actually, even today, if you go to Vrindavan, Braj, there and even today, the alliances, these gopis, girls, when they get married, some of the qualification they see, the ladka side, achar banana tha, acha achar. So if you know how to make pickles very good, then you are considered very highly qualified. वो जो simplicity है ना वो वृंदावन में मिलेगा आपको. So how good you make pickles? So those gopis are very, very qualified. See, we are coming from material background. For us, Brahmaji, Uddhav, they are highly educated. Uddhav is disciple of Brahaspati. But he comes to Vrindavan and his intelligence gets short circuit. He can't understand what is the love the gopis have for Krishna. He gets completely bewildered seeing their love. He tells them, he's telling the world, don't cry. Be happy. But when the gopis are incessantly crying for Krishna, he tells them, cry more, because he understands this is the perfection of life. He's not able to understand only. How can somebody love Krishna so much? He tells them, okay, sit down, close your eyes, do meditation. We all have to meditate like this, to close our eyes and to meditate on Krishna. Gopis used to sit like they want to meditation. So he was thinking they're meditating on some formless aspect, or they're meditating on Krishna. Then he understood they are meditating on how to remove Krishna from their mind. They were not able to remove. So much attached they were to Krishna. So we see Brahmaji is most intelligent, Uddhava is intelligent, but the gopis are considered better than them. So that means we are following the best devotees of Krishna. Maam cho avyavicharini bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatite tan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Krishna says, those who have undivided love for me, they are my best devotees. In the Gita, it says this, and gopis have done that. And that's why in the Bhagavatam, when Krishna meets gopis at Kurukshetra, he tells them, Na parayam, I cannot repay your love, what you have done for me. See, there is this famous verse in the Gita. Krishna says, I reciprocate according to the way you come to me. That famous verse was defeated in relationship with gopis. Because Krishna tells the gopis, I cannot reciprocate with you. Because he says, may your glorious bhakti be your compensation for your bhakti towards me. Because there is nothing I can give which will come close to what you are giving me. Your love is so high that even if I give everything, it will be nothing compared to your love for me. So you just be happy the way you are, because I can't give you anything more than what you have done for me. When people say, oh, but then when you study deeply, then you get some confusion, because you see the Rasa Leela, which is the Rasa Panchadhyaya, which is the most sacred, worshipable chapters of the Bhagavatam. There we see Krishna is while dancing with the gopis in the Rasa Leela, suddenly disappears. And it is very interesting, if Krishna loves them so much, why did he disappear? Why was he not with them? Was it a practical joke that he was playing on them? No. Krishna did that to increase their intensity of hankering to be with him. Krishna was enjoying that sight. He was hiding behind the trees and watching their gopis calling out to Krishna. When Krishna appeared, finally the gopis asked him, Krishna, what kind of a lover are you? Are you a lover? Which are the Three types of lover are you. Are you a lover who gets lot of love and gives more than what he gets? Second, are you a lover who gives back only equal to what he gets? Or third, are you a lover who gets a lot of love but gives back very little? They wanted to say Krishna was of this third category. But they were cultured women. They didn't want to directly accuse Krishna like that. So they gave him a multiple choice question. Which of the three are you? But Krishna also is very intelligent. Krishna, but I am none of the three. I am fourth category. I am somebody who, when he gets love, makes the person hanker and intensify their love. So when you are hankering for me, it is not that I was not reciprocating. I was right there, but I was watching you intensely call out for me. See, normally when you increase something and you say, okay, no, but you have more potential. The potential can be increased. But when the cup is full, then you can't make it more full. Okay, potential, you have reached your potential. So Gopi's heart is filled with ultimate love. Gopi was filled with ultimate love. There is nothing more. But still Krishna wanted to increase. That is spiritual reality. Material logic and spiritual logic are different. In material logic, it cannot increase. But Gopi's hearts, because Krishna intensified, their love increased, their love expanded. Normally, Krishna puts pressure to increase. Like in exam, when the pressure is put on the children, then they study. And they work hard. And the end result is they get better results. They improve. So Krishna's approach is like that. He doesn't wait for the devotees to, on their own, to increase their love for him. He will put pressure on them. He will put challenges. He will put situations in our life where we will cry, and Krishna will be right there. So you may be crying, oh, where is Krishna? I'm suffering so much. Krishna is right there behind the tree, behind your pillar, behind your mobile screen that you're watching. Krishna is there only. He's waiting for you to call out to him. And he's enjoying that hankering of the devotee. So Krishna doesn't want us to become complacent. He doesn't want us to relax in bhakti, because bhakti, if you're a devotee of Krishna, you have to be ready for excitement. There is never going to be a dull moment till you die if you are a devotee in ISKCON. Because if you become dull, then you will miss Krishna's reciprocation. So fasten your seatbelt, be ready for an exciting flight. But the pilot announces, relax and enjoy the flight. But here Krishna won't say relax. That won't happen. Krishna will say, be ready for action. Krishna, increasing your hearing, eagerness, because Krishna cannot tolerate devotees becoming relaxed and complacent and being in the comfort zone. So part of Krishna's approach in bhakti, Krishna's reciprocation, is puts pressure on us. So then, but you may again say, but what about those who are already perfect? Gopis are already perfect. Why were they put in such situation? As I said, that is Krishna's beauty. He intensified their love. See, in the night, and then Krishna appeared, and then they danced the whole night. And Krishna expanded himself into all the, as many gopis were there, so many Krishnas were there. And each gopi thought Krishna is dancing only with me. So they thought they are the most fortunate. But the truth is, others also got association of Krishna. There's total exclusivity, transcendental exclusivity. Everybody felt they were exclusive. But the devtas, demigods, are watching Krishna is dancing with many gopis. So their experience was different than the gopis' experience. Please, someone may think, oh, gopis couldn't see the truth. They couldn't see the truth that Krishna is dancing with everyone. They could only see Krishna with themselves. The demigods are seeing the higher reality. But does that mean the demigods are higher, greater devotees than the gopis? It's very important. Demigods could see that higher vision. They saw that, okay, Krishna, there are many Krishnas. But by seeing that, they got impressed with Krishna. And they were like awe and reverence for Krishna. Wow, Krishna is God. Gopis could not see that because they were covered by the Maya of Krishna's spiritual Maya, Yoga Maya. And because of that love and attachment to Krishna, they could not see that. So that love is considered higher than having awe and reverence for Krishna. So although, that's why I'm saying, they may not be educated like the demigods, but their attachment is what has brought them closer to Krishna. And this attachment is not like the attachment of an ordinary boy for a girl. In this material world, Pumsa Striya Mituni Bhavametam Tayor Mitoridaya Granti Maur Atagraha Kshetra Sutapta Vitte Janasya Mohoyam Aham Mameti. In this material world, when boy and girl come together, Pumsa Striya Mithuni Bhavametam, when that attraction happens between male and female. Tayor Mito Hridaya Granti Mahur. There is a knot in the heart that is ties them. And then Ata Graha Kshetra Suta Apta Vitte. Then you get attached to your house, your property, children, relatives, bank balance. Janasya Mohoyam. Then we are trapped in the identification of me and mine. So Gopis, when they are attached, it is not like the lust of this world. Gopis are not looking at Krishna, what Krishna can give me. They wanted to make Krishna happy. In one lecture, Srila Prabhupada says, when Krishna came back from the pasturing grounds, Gopis did not go and check Krishna's pocket to see what have you brought for us. They were concerned whether Krishna is exhausted, have thorns prick Krishna's lotus feet, is he fatigued? When Srimati Radharani hears that there are thorns which may have affected Krishna's lotus feet, then she actually cringes. She feels bad. Oh, Krishna may step on the thorns and he may feel hurt. So they had this purity, they had genuine concern. See, if it was lust, then they wouldn't be concerned for Krishna. In material love, when the beloved is hurt or beloved is not there, then we first think how it will affect me. We want to end the relationship because my interest is paramount. But when it comes to Krishna and the Gopis, their interest is Krishna should be happy. This is different. Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Sangam. The Gita says what is night for day, night for materialist is day for materialist. Ulta. Also 15th chapter of Gita says material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world, like an inverted banyan tree. So these things, many things we cannot understand. That's why they are able to find fault in Brahmaji. Eyelids. They've given us eyelids because of which we blink. They wanted to constantly stare at Krishna. I think recently L&T chairman landed in trouble because of a misogynist statement that you can't spend your whole Sunday staring at your wife, come for working. He said people should work 90 hours a week. He said. So then Anand Mahindra made a statement that I love staring at my wife. But nobody will love to stare at anybody as much as Gopis wanted to keep looking at Krishna. And they were so upset that Brahmaji created his eyelids, because his eyelids blink for that microsecond, and because of that time, they are not able to see Krishna. Yasyananam matara kundala charu karna brajat kapola subhagam savilasahasam nityotsavam na tatrupur drishibir kibantyo naryo narascha mudita kupita nimescha. So they were like, they're describing Krishna's forehead, Krishna's hair, Krishna's smile. And then they are saying, what is this? Mudit Kupita Ning, because of this one microsecond, our eyes are blinking, we're not able to see. They're becoming Kupita, they're becoming angry with Brahmaji. Kya, you are an imperfect creator. What is this you have made? So that means you can imagine how much attachment they had for Krishna. Actually, in one prayer, Srimati Radharani says, next life I want to be a fish. Because fish, it said that the fish never closes the eyes. As a saying, that poet Khalil Gibran said, who is the saddest of all? The fish, because nobody can see the tears of the fish. So it is said that the fish never sleeps. So similarly, she said, I don't want my eyes to ever close. I want to keep looking at Krishna. So the main point about Madhurya Rasa we're talking about, the foundational principle of Madhurya Rasa is Krishna's well-being. Is Krishna always happy? And willingness to do anything for Krishna's happiness. So this is very, very important. And who is speaking about this? Some of the greatest sannyasis are speaking about. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a very strict renunciant. He would never associate with women. And he is glorifying the Gopis at the highest degree. In fact, once in Jagannath temple, one Devi Dasi, they were glorifying Jagannath. They would sing for the pleasure of the Lord. So she's an Odia lady. They would dance for Jagannath's pleasure, and she was singing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in a far distant place, and he heard the singing, and he transcends all bodily identification. So you could see there was pure chanting of Lord Jagannath's glorification. So he could feel that, oh, whoever is singing with so much love for Krishna. So tears started coming from his eyes. He said, this is such pure expression of love. So he ran to that place from where the sound was coming to embrace that person who was glorifying Krishna. He said, I want to embrace this person who's glorifying. And he ran. And then Govinda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servant, saw this. He got alarmed. And he ran behind Lord Chaitanya and he jumped and he stopped Lord Chaitanya. And he said, Mahaprabhu, do you realize what you are doing? This song singing is by a woman. And then Mahaprabhu suddenly stopped. He says, oh, Govinda, thank you. Thank you for stopping me. If I had gone a step further, then I would have ended my life. I would have committed suicide. I can't break. I would never. Mahaprabhu never violated the principle of sannyas. So for such a person, for him to glorify this pastime means this is pure. And moreover, when Krishna danced with the Gopis, he said he was 10 years old. See, he left Vrindavan when he was 10 years and 10 months. So this pastime happened when he was 9 years old. Gopis were a little younger. They were 8.5, like that. So in painting, they are shown as young adults. But actually, historically, it's not accurate. It's a wrong thing. The real point is, they are pure, even if they are shown as older, the exchange was pure. So like that. And then amongst all these Gopis, who is the best? Srimati Radharani. So that is also another topic only. On Radhashtami we can discuss. But the Gopis, the very famous pastime of which shows how Gopis are the highest devotees of Krishna. Anybody know which is that very famous pastime? Yes, Mataji.
They give the dust.
Yes, Narad Muni. Krishna tells Narad Muni, you want to test who is the best devotee? Go and tell that I have a headache. And for the remedies, I want the dust from the feet of my devotees. Whoever Narad Muni approached, they were shocked that Krishna is going to put the dust from my feet on his head. We'll go to hell. We'll never give this. But when Narad Muni asked the Gopis, they were scraping off all the dust from their feet and said, go, take this. He said, don't you realize that if you give dust from your feet to Krishna, you will go to hell forever? They said, we don't mind going to hell forever. If for 1 second we can give relief to Krishna from his headache. So like that. So this is the Gopis situation. And there's actually much more. I'll just briefly say something a little more. Actually, second point, I will come to it next time. See, Gopis ka point jo hai na, in this world, see, we have never discussed it because the purport is there. We could spend some time on this. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, Saram Bhattacharya has given us that what are our most important things that we should meditate upon. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kajidupasana Brajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumarto Maha Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharana Para. 5 things which every ISKCON devotee needs to internalize. This is our, like, what to say, North Star, our ideal standards, gold standard. Aradhya Bhagavan, who is our worshipable God? Brajesha Tanaya, the darling of Vrindavan. And second, Tadhama Vrindavanam. And Vrindavan is not different from Krishna. That is the second. And who are the best devotees? Ramya Kachidupasana Brajavadu, the women of Vrindavan. Vargena Ya Kalpita. Nobody is greater than them. That is our gold standard. And the fourth, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam, our scripture that we take shelter of this Srimad Bhagavatam. And our highest goal that we want to achieve is Prema Pumarto Mahan. We want to develop love for Krishna. We want to love Krishna purely.
Which is the first one.
Worshipable Lord is Krishna.
In that Brajeshanandan form, and not in the Gita.
In
that Brajeshanandan form.
Vrindavan Krishna form.
Not
वो भी चलेगा. राधा पार्थसारथी है हमारा दिल्ली में. कृष्णा कृष्णा है वो, अभी पहले कम से कम मटेरियल लाइफ से कृष्ण के पास तो आ जाओ, वहां पे जो डिफरेंस है वो बाद में सॉर्ट आउट कर देंगे हम।
There are some sects who prefer only like
I generally don't get into that.
No, I'm just that reason.
Yeah, ऐसे कोई भी चलेगा, कृष्णा as long as it is कृष्णा, I don't know, कोई चलेगा। हाँ, बाल गोपाल भी चलेगा। कृष्ण के पास आ रहा है, बहुत बड़ा चीज है उसमें क्या। But our focus today is on the gopis, because see, gopis का speciality ये है कि after they loved Krishna so much, Krishna left them. That's why they are considered the greatest devotees, because normally in this world, if we love someone and if they hurt us, we leave. It is one thing to give up everything for your beloved, which the gopis did. Like we may also do in our own life, to give up many things for the person we love. But if the beloved doesn't reciprocate and gives you up, that can be devastating. But if you see the gopis, their situation is they gave up everything for Krishna, and Krishna gave them up. And then they didn't give up Krishna. Are you getting it? It means their love is so great that their love is not because of Krishna, because of who Krishna is. It is in spite of who Krishna is. Who understood? Who can explain what I said? Gopis love Krishna. Okay, yes, Mataji, you want to explain?
I'll try a little bit. It is not because of his presence and them seeing
Him
his
reciprocate,
person
yes.
and that way, and his reciprocation because he's giving. But it is for they know that Krishna is the best, and because of that thought and
Their love is unconditional. See, they love Krishna. They gave everything for Krishna. So it's a long past, and they're not getting into that Raslila pastime where they left home, they left everything for coming to be with Krishna. So they were willing to sacrifice all of that for Krishna. And then Krishna gives them up. But then they don't give up Krishna. That means their love for Krishna is not because of who Krishna is, but in spite of Krishna. What is in spite? Krishna is not reciprocating. In this world, if somebody is like that, we will not love that person. In spite of what Krishna has done, they are still loving him. That means their love is unconditional. Means one who is not reciprocating with them, still they are loving with Krishna, because that is the mood of our Gaudiya Vaishnava. The last verse we chant in Shikshashtakam is what? Ashlishyava padaratam pinastumam adarshana marmahatam karutuva yata tatava vidudatu lampato mat prananatastu sevanapra. Krishna, whether you embrace me or reject me, you will always be my Lord. Even if you're a lumpet means you're a debauchee, you reject me. See, if you love someone, that person doesn't reciprocate, that is bad. Doesn't reciprocate much, that is bad. But worse is that person rejects you. But even worse is replacement, when that person replaces you with someone else. So gopis are echoing the mood that is Vrindavan, that unconditional nature of love, that you lose everything for the object of your love, and then you lose your object of love also. And still you are loving the Lord. That is why they are considered, there is nothing higher than that. So like that. So to conclude, I would like to say that for us, takeaway from this whole mood of gopis is two things. One is servant of servant pala mood. Second is how gopis loved Krishna in Vrindavan. If you see, they were normal women who were managing their household duties, but in their heart they were always attached to Krishna. And whenever they got an opportunity, they were with Krishna. So this is a very important point for all ISKCON practicing devotees, because we also have two lives. All of us here, men, women, children, all devotees who are sincere in bhakti, we have two lives, right? Material life or family, professional, social obligation, that is one life. Then if you are devoted to Krishna, still we have to function in this world. All of us have to function. But we also want to be with Krishna. Whenever we get a chance, we come on a Monday for Bhagavatam class. So our outer lives according to the roles we have in this world we are leading. But our inner life has to be, we need to be cultivating love of Krishna. So these are the two lives we have. So Gopis are teaching us that cultivate that internal mood, and they were constantly remembering Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually uses this metaphor while instructing Rup Sanatan, and even Raghunath Das Goswami says, when they're writing letters to Lord Chaitanya repeatedly that we want to come and join you, Lord Chaitanya writes a letter to them saying that when a woman is attached to her paramour more than her husband, then she will serve her husband even more carefully so that he doesn't suspect her. So that when at the right time she can go and meet her paramour. Wow, why when I read that, why such a scandalous example Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving? He is himself so strict and renounced. Is he recommending immorality by giving this example? No, but he's just giving a provocative example to help us understand the mood of the mood of the gopis, that how intense bhakti we need to do. Like we have to do our social obligations, duties in such a way that it's all happening nicely. But internally we have to aspire to be with Krishna, like the analogy that Mahaprabhu is giving to Sanatan and Rup, that they were serving a tyrannical Muslim king, but they had two roles to play. All of us also have two roles to play. So gopis had that love for Krishna, so they could easily do it. We don't have that, so we have to practice. And this separation which you face, because you are not able to be with Krishna all the time. But it is said that the separation is good, because that will increase your longing. See, that is like this, there is fire. Now fire becomes more when there is wind. So wind does to fire something. Similarly, separation is like wind. And love for Krishna is fire. So when there is separation, that intensifies. So when you can't come to temple so much, when you're not able to chant, you've got so many duties, you're struggling, no association, challenges you're facing, that longing which the gopis had. So if you cultivate that longing wherever you are, that longing, that will purify. Are you getting? Like Krishna, when he appeared in front of Narada, Narada was a small boy. And Narada was like, he was delighted, and then Krishna immediately left. And he was hankering, Krishna, I want to see you. Krishna gave darshan and he disappeared. It's like, that day we were fasting whole day. After all that big fasting for 36 hours, we were sitting and there was nice Amra Khanda, Shrikand, mango flavor. So Rakata Samne, and I was like, and now I'll honor it. And suddenly when I opened my grab, how will you feel after fasting? And then suddenly you are anticipating. So Narada is, after intense tapasya, Krishna has appeared, but he has disappeared. So that and Krishna says, I regret you will not be able to see me because you're not yet purified completely. I gave you this glimpse so that you can long for me. So all of us have got some taste in bhakti, and then we have to keep longing for it. So Krishna wants us to immerse our consciousness, and that longing, that hankering is like the wind on fire. Now don't get the other wrong idea. Okay, separation is good, so now I'll not come to temple. That is a good word. It is like, then we have to remember our longing for Krishna, our love for Krishna is not like forest fire. See, there is forest fire and wind blows, the fire becomes strong. Ours is like fire of a candle. So in that candle fire, if wind blows, will it increase? Bujh jayega. So similarly, we don't have love for Krishna. So if we increase our separation deliberately, I will not go to temple. Then instead of that increasing our hankering for Krishna, it will finish off our hankering for Krishna. So we should not be foolish. Basically, the idea is don't take things for granted. Longing means know that Krishna will create situations in your life, if he has not already created, where you don't get association. So basically two lessons from today's class. One is the mood of the gopis, mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to be servant of gopis. And second is the mood of the gopis, which is to long to be with Krishna. Basically, gopis are mirroring, the gopis have two lives. So that is mirroring our own two lives. We also have two lives. So we have to consciously cultivate longing and desire to be with Krishna. These are the two important points from today's purport I wanted to discuss. But we will end by chanting the second verse also, 41. And the verse, Sorry, where did it go? Yeah, we'll chant the last verse also. Okay? Last name, yeah, 41. And Mataji, you have to read the translation loudly and then we'll end the class. Text number 41, all of you have access to? Muniganandrupavarya Shankulentaha Sadasi Yudhishthira Rajasuya Esham Nrupavarya Shankulentaha Sadasi Yudhishthira Rajasuya Esham Arahanam Upapeda Ikshaniyo Mama Drishigochara Esha Aviratma Peda Ishaniyo Mama Drishigochara Esha Aviratma. Translation, text number 41. Yes, Mataji, can you read the translation loudly?
At the Rajasuri Yajna, sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira,
There was the greatest assembly of all the 8 men of the world, the royal and learned order, and in that great assembly, Lord Sri Krishna was worshipped by one and all as the most exalted personality of God. This happened during my presence, and I remembered the incident in order to keep my mind upon the Lord.
Yes, so this is 41. So today we have discussed on verse number 40 and 41 we read the translation. Next week we will begin the class by having a quiz on the translation and purport of both verse number 40 and 14. Is that okay? Thank you very much. Kantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much, devotees who come online. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.